right, joining me now, Katie Pavlis, Fox News contributor, and Mike Davis, president and founder of the Article 3 Project. All right, Katie, you watch it. Trump's on his way back, signing more executive orders. He just withdrew from the Paris Accord. How exciting is this tonight?
It's so exciting that we're seeing action immediately after the speech. So many times you see speeches from politicians. Trump made it clear again today, as if anybody needed a reminder, he's a man of action. What I loved about what he said today is he acknowledged the pressing issues of the moment, the inflation, saying he's going to harness his entire cabinet to bring down prices, which have just been so horrible for American families. And, of course, the issues on the border, getting these violent criminals out of our communities who are harming our sons and daughters, our friends, our husbands, our wives, and getting them kicked out and reestablishing sovereignty. But my favorite part about the speech was his attitude about the new frontier, the American spirit, how America was built by ancestors who moved across the continent to try and do new big things. And when he talks about the Panama Canal and he talks about Greenland, and he talks about renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, he's talking about going to the new frontier and honoring the Americans who came before us to establish the greatest nation country of the world.
All right, Katie, Mike, America, Donald Trump, the doors have opened, back in the White House. Come on, this is amazing. Mike, you and I, 4 years ago, all of us who were documenting the lawfare, Mike, who predicted this, Mike Davis? How many people predicted this, that this was even possible?
Well, we talked about this a lot on your show, Laura. The American people heard all the allegations and the so-called evidence against President Trump, and they rendered their verdicts on November 5th. And President Trump is back in the White House, and he's going to bring much-needed accountability. And that's going to start with the confirmation of Pam Bondi as the Attorney General and Kash Patel as the FBI Director. Justice is coming.
Yeah, and Katie, I had a chance to speak with Kash Patel earlier today. He's ready to go. I hope they confirm him quickly. I hope the Republicans have the gumption to not drag this out. This team, it's like they've been through a lot. Yeah. They know where the pitfalls are. They know where all the bodies are buried, so to speak. And they're not going to make the same mistakes that I think they made a few missteps early on the first term. They were new. They didn't, it was a new deal. But they're ready now. They're experienced. And these executive orders were written a while ago, and they started dropping them one after the other. There are going to be more tonight.
Yeah, and looking at the executive orders, it's Trump taking away things that the Biden administration did that the federal government shouldn't be doing in the first place. Yeah. The United States shouldn't be in a Paris Climate Accord. The executive branch shouldn't be mandating electric vehicles, which makes it more expensive for Americans to go drop their kids off at school or go get groceries. When it comes to his nominees, like Kash Patel, I hope that Republicans highlight in his upcoming hearing his experience and his background. I mean, he was prosecuting terrorists in the Department of Justice. He has an amazing record when it comes to keeping Americans safe, which is actually the mission of the FBI, not spying on Americans for political purposes, which of course the president talked about a lot today. That's all going away. The weaponization inside our institutions needs to be gone, and trust needs to be restored inside the federal government.
And Mike, President Trump today at the Rotunda spoke about what he wants his legacy to be. Watch.
Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier.
Mike, Donald Trump really, really, really hates war. He thinks this Ukraine war has been a $200 billion fiasco. We have hundreds of thousands dead. It doesn't look like Russia's anything but more strongly tied to China. And it looks basically like a draw right now. But he doesn't want any more of these wars, period. He wants to cut deals if possible.
Yes, I'm at President Trump's Commander-in-Chief inaugural ball, honoring our great men and women in uniform, and our service members have a Commander-in-Chief of whom they could be proud again.
Yeah. Now, Katie, so watching the faces, we have to have a little fun here. Watching the faces of Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton, and even George Bush. I mean, this is nothing personal about any of them, but they all made Donald Trump possible. If it weren't for some of their failures, Donald Trump would not be president, whether it was Iraq War, or whether it was the border, or whether it was spending, whether it was, COVID and the continuation of the mandates. Donald Trump is possible because of their failures.
Right.
Do you think they realize a little bit of that today?
I think they do, and also someone who showed up today was the former President Barack Obama, who, let's not forget, told Donald Trump he would never be president. And here he is with the greatest comeback in American history, and I love that Trump brought this up in his remarks today. He didn't shy away from it. He talked directly to the people who said he could never do it, sitting right next to him. Reminding them of exactly what they said, and here he is back in the White House as the 47th president of the United States. You know who loved it, though? Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was back there having a great time.
Oh, yeah, I was laughing.
He was having a great time at the
Yeah, Doug Emhoff didn't seem too happy. Doug Emhoff seemed really miserable. All right, guys, thank you so much.